Have you ever noticed that some folks seem to carry themselves through life with such ease, even when they're well into their 60s, 70s, or beyond? They move with confidence, laugh freely, and just seem to glow with vitality. You might wonder, what's their secret? Is it genetics? Luck? Or maybe there's something more deliberate, something we can all learn from. Well, here's the good news. Healthy aging isn't magic. It's made up of habits, small choices we make every day that add up over time. And today, I want to share 5 golden habits that can help you feel your best, no matter where life has brought you. These aren't drastic lifestyle changes or complicated routines. Think of them more like gentle nudges in the right direction, things you can start doing today that will ripple out into better energy, clearer thinking, and a stronger body. Let me ask you this. Have you ever woken up feeling tired, even after a full night's sleep? Or maybe you've noticed your memory isn't as sharp as it used to be? These are normal parts of aging, but they don't have to be permanent. The truth is, our bodies are remarkably resilient, especially when we give them what they need. And that's exactly what these 5 habits are designed to do. They support your health in ways that compound over time, helping you not only live longer, but live better. So, whether you're already active in your retirement years or just beginning to think about how to age gracefully, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap of simple, practical steps you can take right now to boost your health and happiness. No gimmicks, no fads, just real, science-backed strategies that work for people like you. Alright, let's dive in together. We'll start with the first habit. A habit that affects nearly every aspect of your well-being and yet is often overlooked, even though it's one of the most powerful tools we have at our disposal. Soft transition music begins playing as the host shifts slightly in their seat, leaning forward with a warm expression. Picture this, it's a quiet evening, and you're getting ready for bed. Maybe you've had a long day, or perhaps you've been looking forward to some rest all afternoon. But then, the tossing, the turning, the staring at the ceiling. Sound familiar? You're not alone. As we get older, sleep can become elusive. It's easy to shrug it off and say, "Oh, I'm just getting older." But here's the thing, quality sleep is not a luxury. It's a foundation of health. And when we skimp on it, everything else starts to suffer. Our moods dip, our memory gets foggy, and even our immune system weakens. Now I know what you might be thinking. I've tried everything. Sleep just doesn't come easily anymore. And I hear you. Aging does bring changes to our sleep patterns. But that doesn't mean we have to accept restless nights as inevitable. There are things we can do to support our natural rhythms and improve our chances of waking up refreshed and ready for the day. Let's talk about routine. Have you ever noticed how much better you feel when your schedule stays consistent? That's because your body thrives on predictability. When you go to bed and wake up around the same time each day, even on weekends, you're essentially training your internal clock to expect rest at certain hours. This helps you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. Another key factor? Light exposure. In the mornings, try to get some sunlight within an hour of waking up. Even if it's just sitting by a window while you sip your coffee or reading the newspaper. Natural light helps regulate melatonin, the hormone responsible for making us sleepy at night. Then, as evening rolls in, dim the lights and reduce screen time. Blue light from phones, tablets, and TVs can disrupt melatonin production, tricking your brain into thinking it's still daytime. And what about that evening cup of tea? If you enjoy a warm drink before bed, go ahead, but skip the caffeine. Herbal teas like chamomile or valerian root have calming properties and can actually encourage relaxation. Just be mindful of anything too hot or spicy close to bedtime, since it might upset your stomach or raise your body temperature. Now, let's talk about the environment. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary for rest. Keep it cool, dark, and quiet. If noise is an issue, consider using a white noise machine or wearing earplugs. Some people swear by cooling bedding or breathable pajamas, little adjustments that can make a big difference. And here's a tip that might surprise you: limit napping during the day. Yes, a short power nap can be refreshing, but if you're struggling to sleep at night, even a brief snooze in the afternoon might be interfering. Try limiting naps to 20 minutes or less, and ideally earlier in the day. Now you might be wondering, what about those times when stress keeps you awake? That's a valid concern, and it's one reason why relaxation techniques can be so helpful. Gentle breathing exercises, meditation, or even journaling can quiet the mind and set the stage for deeper rest. One thing I personally find useful is a simple gratitude practice before bed. Take a few moments to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for from your day, no matter how small. It helps shift your focus away from worries and toward the positive, which can calm the nervous system and prepare your mind for rest. Of course, if you've tried all of this and still struggle, it might be worth talking to your doctor. Sometimes, underlying issues like sleep apnea or medication side effects can interfere with quality sleep. But more often than not, making small, consistent changes can lead to big improvements over time. So, to recap, this first golden habit is prioritizing quality sleep. Create a consistent routine, optimize your environment, be mindful of light and diet, and incorporate relaxation practices that help you unwind. It's not about perfection but progress. Even small tweaks can yield noticeable results. And once you start sleeping better, you might find that other areas of your life begin to improve, too. Energy levels rise, mood becomes steadier, and you may even notice your memory sharpening. That's the beauty of these habits. They don't operate in isolation. Each one supports the next, creating a ripple effect that enhances your overall well-being. Now, with a solid foundation laid through better sleep, let's move on to the next habit, one that plays a crucial role in keeping both body and mind strong. Ready to explore? Let's talk about movement, because staying active is one of those habits that truly pays dividends as we age. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. I'm not an athlete. Or, I've tried exercising before, but it didn't work for me. And that's okay. This next habit isn't about running marathons or lifting heavy weights. It's about finding ways to keep your body moving in ways that feel good and sustainable for you. You see, as we get older, our muscles naturally begin to lose strength and flexibility. Joints can stiffen up, and balance might not be what it once was. But here's the good news: we don't have to accept these changes as inevitable. In fact, regular movement can actually slow down or even reverse many of these effects. Think of your body like a well-loved car. If you leave it sitting in the garage for too long, things start to rust. Tires go flat, the engine gets sluggish. But if you take it out regularly, maintain it with care, it keeps running smoothly for years. So how do we keep our bodies running well into our later years? Let's break it down into simple, manageable steps. First, consistency matters more than intensity. You don't need to push yourself to exhaustion every day. Instead, aim for small, regular movements throughout the week. Even a 10-minute walk around the block counts. The key is to make movement part of your daily rhythm, like brushing your teeth or having a morning cup of tea. Walking is one of the most accessible forms of exercise, especially for seniors. It requires no special equipment, costs nothing, and can be done almost anywhere. And the benefits? They're huge. Walking improves circulation, supports heart health, boosts mood, and helps maintain strong bones and muscles. If you're just starting out, don't worry, you don't have to cover miles right away. Begin with short, comfortable walks and gradually increase your time as your stamina builds. Maybe set a goal of walking 5 days a week, even if it's just 15 minutes at first. Over time, you'll likely find yourself wanting to go a little farther, breathe a little deeper, and enjoy the fresh air a little more. But movement doesn't stop at walking. There are so many other enjoyable ways to stay active, depending on your interests and abilities. Have you ever tried chair exercises while watching your favorite show? Or gentle yoga designed specifically for seniors? How about dancing in your living room to music from your younger years? These activities aren't just fun, they're powerful tools for maintaining mobility and independence. Strength training is another important piece of the puzzle. Now, when I say strength training, I don't mean hitting the gym with heavy dumbbells. For many of us, using light resistance bands or doing bodyweight exercises like seated leg lifts or wall push-ups can make a world of difference. Building muscle helps support joint health, improves posture, and even boosts metabolism. Balance exercises are also worth mentioning, especially as we age. Falls are a common concern for older adults, but the good news is that improving balance can significantly reduce that risk. Simple practices like standing on one foot while holding onto a sturdy surface, or trying Tai Chi, which combines gentle movement with mindfulness, can enhance stability and coordination over time. And let's not forget the mental benefits of staying active. When we move our bodies, we release endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that lift our spirits and reduce stress. It's no wonder so many people report feeling calmer and more energized after even a short bout of physical activity. Here's something I encourage you to try: find a movement buddy. Whether it's a neighbor, a friend, or even a grandchild, having someone to share your journey with can make all the difference. You'll hold each other accountable, enjoy each other's company, and maybe even turn exercise into a social event. Another idea? Make movement part of your daily routine. Take the stairs instead of the elevator when possible. Park a little farther away when running errands. Stretch while waiting for the kettle to boil. These small choices add up over time and help create a lifestyle where movement feels natural rather than forced. And remember, rest is just as important as movement. Listen to your body. Some days, you might feel like going for a longer walk. Other days, a few minutes of stretching may be all you can manage, and that's perfectly fine. What matters is showing up for yourself consistently, without judgment. One last thing to consider: consult with your healthcare provider before starting any new exercise program, especially if you have any chronic conditions or concerns. They can help guide you towards safe, effective options tailored to your unique needs. So to recap, this second golden habit is staying active in ways that suit your lifestyle and abilities. Whether it's walking, gentle strength training, balance exercises, or simply moving more throughout the day, regular physical activity plays a vital role in keeping your body strong, your mind sharp, and your spirit lifted. And just like quality sleep, movement sets the stage for the habits that follow. When we move regularly, we often eat better, sleep more soundly, and feel more connected to ourselves and the world around us. Now that we've covered two foundational habits, prioritizing restful sleep and staying active, let's shift our focus to something that nourishes us from the inside out. Ready to explore the power of mindful nutrition? You know, food has always been more than just fuel. It's comfort, memory, celebration, connection. A warm bowl of soup on a rainy day, a slice of your grandmother's apple pie, or even that one snack you've loved since childhood, it all carries meaning. But as we get older, what we eat becomes even more important. Not because we suddenly have to follow strict rules or deprive ourselves, but because the right foods can give us energy, clarity, and strength. They can help us feel good, not just today, but for years to come. So let's talk about this third golden habit: nourishing your body with mindful nutrition. And when I say mindful, I don't mean calorie counting or complicated meal plans. I mean simply paying attention to what you eat, how it makes you feel, and choosing foods that truly support your well-being. Let me ask you something. Have you ever eaten a big, heavy meal and then felt sluggish afterward? Or maybe you reached for something sweet when you were tired, only to crash an hour later? These are signs that what we eat affects more than just our waistlines. It influences our mood, energy levels, digestion, and even how clearly we think. Now, I'm not here to tell you what you can't eat. Life is too short for that. Instead, let's focus on adding more of the foods that make you feel strong, steady, and satisfied. Start by thinking about color. The more vibrant your plate, the better. Bright vegetables and fruits contain antioxidants, those powerful little warriors that help protect your cells from damage and support heart health, brain function, and even your skin. Think leafy greens like spinach and kale, berries bursting with flavor, orange vegetables like carrots and sweet potatoes, and cruciferous veggies like broccoli and cauliflower. These aren't just trendy superfoods, they're real, whole foods that have been supporting health for generations. And don't forget about protein. As we age, maintaining muscle mass becomes increasingly important, and protein plays a key role in that. But you don't need huge steaks or fancy supplements. Lean sources like fish, eggs, beans, lentils, Greek yogurt, and even tofu can provide the protein your body needs without weighing you down. Hydration is another piece of the puzzle. Sometimes, when we feel tired or sluggish, it's actually just dehydration talking. As we get older, our sense of thirst can diminish, so it's easy to go hours without realizing we need water. Keep a glass nearby throughout the day, and try infusing it with slices of lemon, cucumber, or mint if plain water feels boring. Now, let's talk about fiber. If you've ever struggled with digestion or felt bloated after meals, increasing your fiber intake might be just what you need. Whole grains like oats, quinoa, brown rice, and barley can help keep things moving smoothly through your digestive system. Pair them with plenty of vegetables and legumes, and you'll likely notice a difference in how light and comfortable you feel after eating. Healthy fats are often misunderstood, especially among older adults who grew up hearing that fat was bad. But the truth is, certain fats are essential for brain health, joint flexibility, and even hormone balance. Think avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and fatty fish like salmon or sardines. Just a handful of almonds or a drizzle of olive oil on your salad can make a world of difference. And here's something important: eat slowly and mindfully. Put your fork down between bites. Take a breath. Savor the flavors. This isn't just about etiquette, it's about giving your body time to register when it's full. Often, we eat quickly without realizing how much we've had until we feel uncomfortably stuffed. Slowing down allows you to enjoy your food more and helps prevent overeating. Also, listen to your body. Some people thrive on 3 square meals a day, while others do better with smaller, more frequent meals. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. Pay attention to how different foods make you feel. If something consistently leaves you feeling sluggish or bloated, it might be worth reconsidering, even if it's a favorite. And speaking of favorites, yes, you can still enjoy the foods you love. In fact, I encourage you to. Restriction rarely works in the long run. The goal isn't perfection, but balance. So if you want a cookie with your afternoon tea or a slice of birthday cake at a family gathering, go ahead. Just aim to make your everyday choices ones that support your energy and vitality. One last thing, don't underestimate the power of herbs and spices. Many of them have anti-inflammatory properties and can add incredible flavor without extra salt or sugar. Turmeric, ginger, garlic, cinnamon, rosemary, these aren't just pantry staples. They're natural allies in healthy aging. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds great, but cooking takes time, and sometimes I'm just not up for it. And that's okay. You don't have to cook elaborate meals every day. Pre-cut vegetables, frozen fruits, pre-cooked grains, and canned beans are all perfectly fine options. The key is making smart choices that fit your lifestyle and abilities. Meal prep can also be a game changer. Spend a little time on the weekend preparing a few simple dishes you can reheat during the week. Or batch cook soups and stews that freeze well. Having healthy meals ready to go makes it easier to stick to nourishing habits, even on busy or tiring days. And if you live alone, consider inviting a neighbor or friend to share a meal once in a while. Eating together adds joy to the experience and encourages healthier choices. Plus, it's a nice way to stay connected. So to recap, this third golden habit is about feeding your body with intention and care. Choose colorful, whole foods. Prioritize protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Stay hydrated. Eat slowly. And above all, enjoy what you eat, because food should bring pleasure, not stress. When we nourish ourselves well, we give our bodies the tools they need to stay strong, resilient, and vibrant. And just like sleep and movement, nutrition sets the stage for the habits that follow. With these 3 habits, restful sleep, regular movement, and mindful eating, we've built a solid foundation for healthy aging. But there's still more to explore. Are you ready to dive into the next one? Let's talk about something that doesn't always get the attention it deserves when we think about health: our emotional well-being. You know, for many of us, life has brought its share of changes. Retirement, shifting roles in the family, losing loved ones, or even just adjusting to a different pace of life. These transitions are natural, but they can leave us feeling, well, unsettled at times. And sometimes, without realizing it, we carry emotions that affect our overall health more than we might think. That's why this fourth golden habit is so important: nurturing your emotional well-being. It's not just about staying physically healthy, it's also about tending to your heart and mind, giving yourself permission to feel, connect, and grow. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. I've lived a long life. I've dealt with plenty. And you have. You've faced challenges, made tough choices, raised families, built careers, and weathered storms. But here's the truth: just because we've handled hard things doesn't mean we don't need care and support now. In fact, taking time to nurture our emotional health becomes even more important as we age. Let me ask you this: when was the last time you truly checked in with yourself? Not just how your body feels, but how your spirit is doing? Do you ever find yourself feeling lonely, even when surrounded by people? Or maybe you've noticed a sense of restlessness, like something's missing? These feelings are common, especially during major life transitions. And the good news is, there are simple, meaningful ways to bring more joy, connection, and peace into your daily life. One of the most powerful tools we have is connection, with others and with ourselves. Human beings are wired for community. We thrive on relationships, shared laughter, deep conversations, and the comfort of knowing someone sees and understands us. So, if you've been spending more time alone lately, consider reaching out to someone: a neighbor, an old friend, a relative. Even a short phone call or a handwritten note can make a big difference. Sometimes, just hearing another voice or knowing someone is thinking of you can lift your spirits in ways you didn't expect. If you're comfortable with technology, social media groups or online communities centered around hobbies or interests can be a great way to stay connected, too. Whether it's a book club, gardening group, or a class on something new you've always wanted to try, these spaces offer opportunities to engage, learn, and build friendships, even from home. And if face-to-face interaction feels daunting, start small. A smile to the person behind you in line at the grocery store, a kind word to a cashier, a chat with a fellow walker at the park. These moments of human connection, however brief, can add up to a more joyful day. But nurturing emotional well-being isn't just about being with others. It's also about making space for yourself. Taking time to reflect, express your thoughts, and do things that bring you peace. Journaling can be a gentle, powerful practice. Some people write down their gratitude each morning, others use it to process difficult emotions or simply record memories. There's no right or wrong way, just whatever feels true for you. Even a few sentences a day can help clear mental clutter and bring clarity. Meditation or quiet reflection, even for just 5 minutes a day, can also work wonders. Find a comfortable spot, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Let thoughts come and go like clouds passing through the sky. This simple act of grounding yourself in the present moment can reduce stress, improve mood, and help you feel more at peace. Another idea: creative expression. Have you ever considered painting, drawing, knitting, playing music, or writing poetry? These aren't just hobbies. They're forms of self-care that allow you to express emotions in ways words sometimes can't. And the best part? You don't have to be good at them to enjoy them. It's about the process, not perfection. Also, don't underestimate the healing power of nature. Spending time outdoors, whether it's walking through a park, sitting under a tree, or just opening a window to feel the breeze, can soothe the soul. Nature has a way of reminding us that we're part of something bigger, something peaceful and enduring. And let's not forget about laughter. Real, belly-deep laughter is one of the best medicines we have. Watch a favorite comedy, call someone who makes you laugh, or remember a funny story from your past. Laughter releases endorphins, reduces stress, and reminds us not to take life too seriously. Of course, if you've been dealing with persistent sadness, anxiety, or feelings of hopelessness, it's important to reach out for support. Talking to a counselor or therapist isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It takes courage to seek help, and doing so can open the door to healing and renewed joy. So to recap, this fourth golden habit is about caring for your emotional well-being. Stay connected with others in ways that feel right for you. Make time for reflection and creative expression. Spend time in nature. Laugh often. And above all, give yourself permission to feel, to heal, and to grow. When we tend to our hearts and minds, we create a foundation for lasting happiness and resilience. And just like the habits we've already covered, restful sleep, regular movement, and mindful nutrition, this one supports every other aspect of our well-being. With 4 solid habits now in place, we're building a lifestyle that promotes energy, vitality, and joy. But there's still one final piece to explore, one that ties everything together in a beautiful, meaningful way. Are you ready to discover the 5th and final golden habit for healthy aging? Let's talk about purpose. Now, I know that word can feel heavy sometimes. When we hear purpose, we might think of grand missions or lifelong callings. But here's something to consider. Purpose doesn't always have to be big to be meaningful. In fact, some of the most powerful purposes come from the small, everyday things that bring us joy, connection, and a sense of contribution. You see, as we age, life often shifts. Children grow up and move out. Careers end. Routines change. And while these transitions bring freedom in many ways, they can also leave behind a question. Now what? That's where this 5th golden habit comes in, finding and nurturing a sense of purpose. Because when we feel needed, when we feel like we're contributing in some way, it does something remarkable for our health. It gives us energy. It lifts our mood. It even strengthens our resilience. Let me share a little story. A few years ago, I met a woman named Margaret at a community center. She was in her late 70s and had recently retired after teaching elementary school for over 40 years. At first, she struggled. She missed the routine, the children, the feeling of making a difference every day. But then, she started volunteering at a local library, helping kids with their reading. Within a few months, she told me, "I feel alive again." And you know what? That's not just a nice story, it's backed by science. Studies show that older adults who engage in meaningful activities, whether through volunteering, mentoring, creative pursuits, or simply helping others, tend to live longer, healthier lives. They report greater happiness, sharper minds, and stronger social connections. So how do you find your own sense of purpose, especially if it feels like it's slipped away? Start by asking yourself a simple question: what brings me joy? Not what used to bring joy, but what still lights you up today. Maybe it's sharing stories with grandchildren, or baking your famous apple pie for neighbors. Perhaps it's gardening, painting, playing music, or writing down memories for future generations. Maybe your purpose is in teaching someone something you've spent a lifetime learning. Or maybe it's in showing up for a friend who needs a listening ear. Sometimes, purpose is found in the act of being fully present for another person, even if only for a moment. One beautiful thing about purpose is that it doesn't have to look the same for everyone. For some, it might mean returning to an old passion they set aside decades ago. For others, it could be trying something completely new, learning a language, taking up photography, or joining a community group focused on something they care about. And let's not forget the power of giving back. Volunteering, even just a few hours a week, has been shown to improve mental and physical health. Whether it's mentoring youth, visiting seniors in assisted living facilities, helping at an animal shelter, or sorting food at a local pantry, there are so many ways to make a difference in the lives of others, no matter your age or abilities. If mobility is limited, there are still countless ways to contribute. Writing letters to veterans or nursing home residents, offering phone support for a cause you believe in, or even sharing your knowledge online through forums or videos. These are all acts of purpose that ripple out into the world. Another idea: passing along your wisdom. You've lived a rich, full life. You've seen changes, overcome challenges, learned lessons that only time can teach. Think about how valuable that is, not just to you, but to others. Whether it's sitting down with a grandchild and telling them stories from your past, writing a journal for your family, or even starting a blog or podcast where you share your experiences, you're leaving behind something lasting. And don't underestimate the importance of hobbies and interests. Sometimes, purpose isn't about changing the world, it's about finding fulfillment in the things you love. Knitting a scarf for a loved one, tending to a garden, solving puzzles, or attending a weekly card game, all of these activities give structure, meaning, and joy to daily life. Here's something else to consider. Set a small goal for yourself. Something that excites you, even if it feels minor. Maybe it's reading a new book each month, reconnecting with an old friend, or learning how to use a new app or technology. Having something to work toward, no matter how small, can reignite that spark of purpose. And remember, your value doesn't diminish with age. If anything, it deepens. The wisdom you carry, the kindness you offer, the presence you provide, they all matter more than you may realize. So to recap, this fifth golden habit is about cultivating a sense of purpose. It's about finding meaning in your daily life, staying engaged with the world around you, and continuing to contribute in ways that feel authentic and fulfilling. When we live with purpose, we stay mentally sharp, emotionally resilient, and deeply connected to ourselves and others. It complements everything else we've talked about: restful sleep, regular movement, nourishing food, and emotional well-being. Together, these 5 habits form a strong, vibrant foundation for healthy aging. And here's the best part: you don't need to master all of them overnight. Take one step at a time. Start with whichever habit speaks to you most right now. Try it out. Be kind to yourself if progress feels slow. Celebrate the small wins. And above all, remember that it's never too late to make choices that help you feel your best. Because aging isn't about slowing down or fading away, it's about growing wiser, deeper, and richer in experience. It's about embracing this next chapter with joy, vitality, and intention. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to like it and subscribe to the channel for more tips on living your best life at any age. And I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 5 golden habits resonated most with you, or share your own secret to healthy aging. Here's to living fully, loving deeply, and thriving at every stage of life. Until next time, take care, and keep shining.